Hey YouTube, Dawson Rider here with my review of the Deluxe Ninja Battle Morpher from the new series Power Rangers Ninja Steel. To start, I want to apologize on how long it's taken me to get Ninja Steel reviews out. Honestly, I just found them today as of this recording, which was early December. Usually I find it pre or on Black Friday. I'm 99% sure my Toys R Us saw the street date of December 2nd on the movie toys and thought it was for Ninja Steel as well, because I've been checking quite a lot. So yeah, I apologize for how long this is taking. I'm going to start with the packaging. I'm actually not going to be making quite as much note of the packaging in general for Ninja Steel, and I'll go more into that probably in the Megazord. But this is probably my favorite packaging. This is a really weird thing to talk about every time I think about it, but of the line, because my main problem with the Ninja Steel's packaging is we're using red as the primary color again, which makes it blend in with the previous wave again, but what I like about this one is this huge splash of blue, and I just wanted to make note of, that I think the packaging should have been blue because it would have stood out more, maybe like a mix of blue, white, and grayish. I don't know, like I think it could have looked cooler. But I always like the sort of art or the in-show shot of the Ranger holding the Morpher, like sort of in like a weird 3D thing. I don't know, but I always like that, and I just wanted to make note of the fact that I think that this color stands out a lot more. On the back, it just shows you a production shot of Ninja Steel Red, and then of course you have advertisements for it, and then advertisements for this year's gimmick, which is the Power Stars. But I just wanted to make note of that. It's honestly, as weird as I get about talking about the packaging a lot, it's mainly because when you're looking for the new line, you're trying to get it to jump out at you, like I just said, and it blends in. Like most of the Ninja Steel stuff blended in outside of maybe the figures and that. Okay, so here's what you get. The Morpher, and you get two Power Stars, Red Ranger and Yellow Ranger. And we have a very interesting case here. In case you didn't know, this is not the Morpher in Ninninger. This is just a sidearm weapon in Ninninger. We took the Morpher, which is a sword, and just made it a sword, and made this sidearm the Morpher, apparently because they didn't want to give up having two big ticket items, or for lack of a better term, in the first line, because they usually have the Morpher and the big, quote-unquote, big weapon, so they wanted to make sure they had both. I personally like when they do stuff like that. To be honest, I would have rather them actually come up with an entirely new Morpher like they did with Jungle Fury, just to see what they would do, but I like shakeups like that, even if it is for a dumb corporate reason. But anyway, we're going to take a look at it on its own first, and then I will be comparing it to the Japanese version. But like I said, it's a bit of a weird case this year because, you know, it's not a Morpher for the other side. But I guess let's start with these. These are the Power Stars. Excuse me, hiccup. They're very small, as you can see. The gimmick in Ninja was the same, but it was with electronics. This is all foam right here, safety for kids, because I guess their big fun thing this year was this. They thought, hey, kids can throw this at each other, so that was their thing. And this, I think, is the first version, meaning these was basically what was shown at Morphicon and stuff. There are, like, better versions that have a little bit more detail around there, and these got out for whatever reason, and then they're like, oh, these got out early, so now they're collector's items. Bunch of corporate nonsense. But, yeah, that's kind of a thing. So watch out for that. I got the regular version because I just picked up what was there. I'm kind of glad I did, because then I could mention it. Granted, I would have mentioned it regardless, but yeah, all this does is B's really tiny star with really dumb-looking foam. The picture still looks fine. I really do like the artwork on that. And then here's Yellow, right here. And I should note that Yellow is what comes with the Japanese version. Not this little dude, but, you know, in Ninninger, and then Red would have come with the sword. I believe that's right, because it was the Morpher. Yeah, because then Blue came with the frog. Anyway, so here is the Morpher. It is like a star, Ninja Star type deal. I want to make note first before I forget it. This handle here is not attached when you get it. You have to press it in here, and then there's a little tiny like nail thing you loop through. It's actually kind of a pain, but yeah. Just watch out for that. It's behind the packaging. I almost thought it didn't include it for a second, so yeah. So it's definitely on the small side. I'll say that look-wise, I think it looks fine. I mean, they pretty much nail all the details that they need to get, all the symbols, all the colors. It looks, well, like I said, fine. It's definitely smaller than the counterpart, which I'll be talking about, but I kind of like that because it makes it feel more Morpher-like. But so look-wise, I don't really have a problem with it. It's less thick and stuff like that. But yeah, let's go ahead and turn it on. Let me find it. There we go. There's an on, off, and try me. So when you turn it on, you go activation noises. And when it's in this mode, you just get a few basic noises by pressing this button. I believe it's 3 different attack noises. And that's it. The different weapon modes you can make is you have claw and you have blade. So claw is by pulling these 2 out. And that's the claw mode right there. You don't get any changes in noises. Excuse my ape arms. And then the sword mode, which you activate by pressing this button, which they actually both pop out nicely, and I think that looks cool the way they put those together, because in the original version it's just 1 blade. So I kind of like that, and I like the pressing this to have it pop out, which the other version doesn't have, which again I'll mention. But I wish it had an activation noise, like even some sort of like swing noise or something, not like literally like that, but you know, a blade noise would have been cool. Like, it just seems weird that nothing happens. I mean, that happens, but no noises. And then nothing different, unless it's different and I'm not picking it up. But yeah, that's what you get. And this is of note, in the show, which unless they, for whatever reason, decide to cut out all footage of this, and in the toy, or the other toy, which I'll be showing in a minute, there is a bow mode. And they basically cut that out. You can essentially make it by doing this. This is going to kind of give you trouble, but you can make it. So that's the bow mode, and you can pretty much hold it like you would. So it's not gone totally, but the main thing is that this would pull out to, you know how it is, but to simulate pulling back a bowstring, and then it would make noises. And that's really disappointing they took that out, because making this the Morpher was kind of a cool decision in the fact that it's a Morpher and 3 different weapons, which is a first that I can think of. I mean, we're just starting to get in the era for PR and then Sentai as well, or at least recent era, of having weapons as Morphers, and this could have been really cool. And I think that bow was honestly one of my favorite things about the weapon, and I think it could have added a lot of playability. I would have even been happy if they just included the pullback but no sounds or something. Like, there's a lot of little things in the Ninja Steel line that I'm curious about, like how much money did it actually save? Because in certain cases I can see, oh, they probably did this to cut costs, and I'm fine with it. Like, oh, there's no gold paint here, they switched to this. But there's certain little things that I'm like, how much money did that save, and could it have made it better? Because I think the bow was one of the coolest things, and especially if they're going to use it in the show. Like I said, I can't see them cutting out every time they use the bow. Anyway, let's go ahead and get started. Place a power star right there. Let's put it right here. I just keep saying the word put, so you get those noises when it happens, and then you're going to want to twirl it around.
Red Ninja Power Star.
So it'll say Red Ninja Power Star, and that's it. And then press this button here.
Activate.
And then you'll get the transformation-y noises, and then it will make a different noise now when you press the attack button. Same noise. Still no activation noises for this. Same. Now we can take it out. It'll make little taking out noises. And then let's put yellow in, and I'll show you if you just, hold on. You have to have it swirl around and activate a power star. It's not just gonna do it on its own. So I wanted to make note of that. So let's do it.
Yellow Ninja Power Star.
Activate.
Activate.
Same noises. Unless there's like a discernible cling or something that I'm not hearing, it's the same noise. And that's pretty much it, unless I'm forgetting something, which is always a chance. And if I am forgetting something or forgot a secret sound, I'll put up a little annotation later on. But I can't think of anything else. But yeah, all the same. All the same noises. So now let's go ahead and take a look at the comparison. Okay, so here it is next to its Japanese counterpart. Let's get it at least facing the rightish way. Well, it's all different. Anyway, the placement of everything's a little bit different there. There we go. Okay, it was gonna bother me. Anyway, so obviously there's the usual size difference. There's a slight color difference in like the goldish bronze color, but for the most part, I think the look is fine. I really don't have a problem with it in terms of displaying it and all that. I think they didn't lose much. The only thing that I really like better on this one is the fire piece here. I think it looks cooler with a little bit of a metallic finish to it. But the main two things that are better about this are this feature here, which you can switch this to have whatever mode you have it in make more sense for holding / be easier, which I liked for that reason, and also I just liked the mechanical feel it gave this weapon. And then obviously, as I had mentioned, yeah, you can do the bow mode in both of them, but this one had the pullback feature, and, you know, it would give you the sensation of, that sounded, nope, of, you know, pulling back a bowstring, and it would have noises, and I just wonder how much money they, like, decided it was worth it to not have this, because this was just such a cool feature of it. So there's obviously that going on. And then there's obviously as well the power stars. Here's yellow's, and here is its counterpart. Obviously quite a difference in size. We decided not to do electronics, unless I'm forgetting something. We've yet to have an electronic gimmick. For the last few years, we've had one that didn't have it initially. This is the first year we've run up to it since engine cells, I believe. But yeah, this has sounds. Mine's like dead. Most of my Ninninger things are dead, but obviously the difference is this has, you know, sounds in it. You can pull these off and throw them, which is where they got their throwing gimmick from, instead of, you know, just having them be throwable. And then this, like, you know, lifts up so you can put it on the mecha and stuff like that. So there's quite a difference here. But, you know, the sounds from this aren't going to be in Ninja Steel, so that's kind of a thing. So, honestly, I wasn't expecting them to have sounds. There's a part of me that thinks it could have been cool for, like, marketing to have just, instead of a bunch of random packs of these with stupid past teams on them, to have an actual electronic one and keep the throwing gimmick by doing what they did. But honestly, the electronics isn't huge to me. I would have just liked to seen these be a little bit bigger, which is something I'll get into with the Megazords. I think they could have made it compatible, just to make it more fun, because even it being this size or slightly smaller for the Ninja Star throwing would be cooler, because these are just so dang tiny. It's like not even about the sounds, it's just about the tininess. So yeah, that's an obvious difference. Like I said, yellow, if I'm remembering this right, is included with this in the Ninja, and then obviously is included with this again. And in Japan, if I remember, you get red with the sword, which is the Morpher, so which is why you're getting it here as well, and also because Red Ranger. So yeah, the art's pretty similar from underneath. It's pretty much identical. It's a little bit darker in here. But yeah, and I think, like I said, blue comes with the frog, I think, for them, and then for us with the sword. But anyway, that's pretty much it. So overall, to be honest, I'm kind of disappointed in this thing. I don't have as much, like, purism or hate as a lot of people do about certain things from it, but since we've gotten more feature-rich morphers, starting with, what, the Gosei Morpher, I would say this is probably the biggest letdown. I think all the other ones have just been, well, more feature-rich. The sounds aren't that robust. They basically just say the name. To be honest, I do like the voice. I think it sounds cool. It'll be interesting to see what it's like in the show, because Dino Chargers was pretty close, but it wasn't exact. But I do like the voice, but the sounds are pretty much very basic and not as varied, because, you know, with Super Mega Force, we got all the team names, and then with Dino Charge, we had the unique different sounds for all of them, so you just don't have that here. But honestly, that aside, my main problem with this is the fact that they took out things like the bow mode, and the things that could have made this really cool in turning the Morpher into, or the weapon into a Morpher, excuse me, because it could have been one of the most versatile Morphers ever. So yeah, overall, I would say this thing's okay, but definitely a letdown of the Morphers in more recent years. But anyway, that's about it. Until next time, make sure you check out the Rizzy Podcast at writersrangerambles.com, and of course, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. Till next time, Dawson Ryder, signing out.